It's early.
It's early for you, huh? Okay, yeah, actually, it sounds good. So we're gonna rate the criticality and the frequency of the task. Um, okay, so I'm gonna go to the spreadsheet. So basically, I know that you guys have a. Are you like awake?
Yeah, I'm up.
Okay. um,
Yeah, but I'm up.
we're gonna rate the frequency and the criticality of the task that we went through. So when you think of frequency, obviously you have some tasks that you do hourly, some tasks that you do daily, some that you do monthly, and so on. And so when I read out the task, just let me know whether you do that, how frequently you do that task, whether you do it once a day, twice a day, at the beginning and the end of the day, or whatever.
Uh,
Okay? And then for criticality, we're just talking about like the importance of the task. So when you think about task importance, you might think about like um, what consequences could be associated with that task. So consequences could be anything from people getting sick um, or somebody getting in trouble or somebody getting a reprimand. Um, it could be anything, or it could be that it could be morale. Um, so criticality will rate on 1 to 5. So 1 being this task is not really important, and then 5 being this task is really important. Like if I don't do it right away, something will happen. Okay, you still with me?
good.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm still.
Okay. All right. So the first one, and you can also uh, open up the spreadsheet if you want to sit upright, or I can just read them to you, whichever one works.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is clean and sanitize work areas, equipment, utensils, dishes, and or silverware. How frequently would you say you complete this task?
Go with 5.
Well, 5 is criticality. Okay. And then frequency?
I don't know. She said 1 through 5 is.
1 through 5 is for criticality. So, like how important that task is. If that task is
Oh,
really, really important, then you put a 5. If it's like not so important, you put a 1.
yeah, go with 5.
Okay. So, for the frequency, how frequently do you perform that task?
Mm-hmm. Personally, I would have to go with every 3.
3 being like like every hour or
Every hour. Yeah,
every hour?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm in a new location, so I got a new working. Some new, got a whole lot going on in this store.
Yeah, you said that the store that you're currently working in has a lot of issues.
Too many, way too many. I mean, we getting it together, we organizing everything.
Mhm.
This lady, she's a first time owner of a restaurant, so she has no idea of what to do.
Oh
She's
wow.
really about to go crazy. So she asked me about 5 months back if I can come in and help out or whatever, and I told her I had to think about it.
let me let me think about that for a second.
Yeah, because I was next door with. It's not competition, but I was next door um at another location, and so I decided to go with her because she offered me more money.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is my first time being in this situation.
Oh wow. So you're still at the same franchise but in a different store?
No, I'm in a actual, I'm just in a totally, I'm in a different business. Uh,
Oh.
yeah, but this is like I said, it's the first time, running a restaurant. So she's She's damn near about to stress out. She's retired.
Oh
Uh,
wow, that's a lot of work for somebody who's
yeah, she said,
trying
I
to retire.
want to feel like I'm back at work again. I was like, well, okay. We'll see what we can do. A lot of things in there wasn't. Um, refrigerators were dirty.
Ooh.
The seals, those seals to the well, the freezers. They had mold in it. Uh, it was a lot of things just bad. No labels. Um, it was just terrible. But
Ooh.
we getting it back up to par.
Oh wow. Ooh.
And she don't understand the importance of being keeping the kitchen clean, like
Mm.
the employees are. So um, yes.
Do her other employees, are they certified?
No, I don't think so. I
Oh.
haven't even got a chance to even ask him anything like that. I'm trying to focus on basics.
Like people, like what kind of stuff, what kind of situations, for instance, have you encountered?
Um, Communication. Um, I think that's been the worst. I think them not really understanding like how deadly, like foodborne illnesses. Them not wrapping things correctly.
Mm.
Um, gosh, there's a lot of things that's just bad. I mean, so I think some people try to take advantage of new owners to a
Mm.
degree, uh,
Mhm.
which to me I think is it's an eye opener because me and visualizing me having a restaurant one day.
Mhm.
Okay, who do I need to hire? What type of people I need to hire?
Yeah.
But I don't want to be judgmental too. But I have to be realistic because it's saying a lot. Being here is like if I put all this money up, or
Yep.
investors and things like that, I don't want to disappoint nobody. But at the same time, it's almost like you got to be kind of like cutthroat. I'm not a mean person at heart, but it's almost like, dang, these people really don't care. So,
Well, they also might just not really understand it. I mean, I think that happens a lot of times. Is that and we kind of talked about that situation on. Remember, Leah was talking about that situation because she was saying like in the school system, you have a lot of people who really don't understand food, don't understand food safety,
right,
but because they are in a certain position or because they have a certain amount of time in the organization, they end up having a lot of power. So unfortunately, like they can make decisions, and but they're not making the best and the safest decisions. And she was talking about how she had to fight with one of her previous supervisors because he just didn't understand, that certain things were like hazardous. But by the same token, he had the power to like make decisions, over stuff that happened. So like, I can imagine this lady. A lot of people too don't realize that you have to really take time, particularly with recruitment. You
true,
know, so people will kind of just pull up their friends and family and say, "Hey, come help me. I'm opening up a restaurant. You know, all you got to do is help me serve food." Well, obviously, it's more complicated than that, right? That's not like just making a meal when you're at home.
correct,
Yeah, anybody can make a meal at home, but running a restaurant kitchen is different, right? As you know. So people will probably like, oh yeah, that sounds simple enough, right? And
mm,
she doesn't want to be bothered. She doesn't understand the profession. She didn't bother with the recruitment. Not to say she didn't bother, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to really recruit professional staff members, to really vet them, to really, go through the interview process and do all those things that it would take to really get good staff in there, in addition to doing all the other stuff that's required when you're actually opening up a restaurant.
mm,
It's a lot. So,
yeah,
she ended up pulling up her friends and family, and they don't really know what they're doing. I mean, that's what I am assuming, you know.
yeah, that's exactly right. There's a lot of that is going on. So it's kind of like, when you working with friends and family, they kind of tend to slack. So
Mhm.
if you're not friends and family or whatever. You just there, you working, of course, you're an employee. Um, it's not that you're slacking, but it's like wow, like how do I share this with this person without them being offended or you trying to
Yeah.
anything, especially in the times we living in now. I just think overall around I want to say in the country, but it's just a lot going on. Like I think it's a morality issue in a sense.
Hmm.
Like people just don't have that. Just the simple fact to care for the next person. I see that issue. You know what I mean? I don't like to take it there, but it makes sense. It's like this guy, he comes in, he's young. I'm trying to train him how to wash dishes, and he has about, and it's so disappointing, and heartbreaking. He has about 30 dishes to wash.
Mhm.
He don't have to walk, um, no, he don't walk nowhere to get the dishes. It's
Right.
next to the dishwasher. He thinks he thinks he can just throw the dishes in the dishwasher with with all the dirt, the debris, the food, whatever, and
Oh.
not rinse it off at first.
Oh wow.
And I'm telling him like, hey man, you need to get it like this, and he started balling his face up. He gets very emotional. So I was like, it's like I'm talking to like a female, but it's a guy, and I'm like, hey man, you should do this, get it done. You're making it hard for yourself, and he's trying to
Right.
challenge me about it, and but he's gone, of course, he's gone now. Um,
Oh.
yeah, but he's walking in the kitchen with knives in his hand. I'm saying, hey man, lay down a mat. You might fall. Think some things happen with people, and without slip resistant shoes.
Right.
So on my day off, I come back. I think it was like a Wednesday of last week. Come back that Thursday. He said, "Hey John, uh, the guy Dre, man, he fell, man, he fell back." I said, "Oh," I said, "For real."
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
I checked to make sure he was good, but I couldn't do nothing but start laughing. And I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't hold myself up. I said, "See, you know,
Oh man. Yeah.
yeah." So,
Well, have you spoken to her about getting her staff certified?
uh, I, but I told her I was, taking this course with you all, and um, it's so funny because this has actually helped me out.
Really?
Yeah, like with this project, I'm actually using a lot of things that we talked about and discussed on here with this project now.
Hmm.
Yeah, so which is beautiful because I'm like, I didn't know when it was gonna come, how I was gonna apply the things that we discussed, but it happened immediately. I
Like what?
mean, with just dealing with sanitary health costs, but the thing is, they don't come in like the health department. I haven't seen them come in yet, but I know they will pop up eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
So but every store on this block has this issue because of the building, and they need to tear the entire building down. The building is like 100 years old,
Mm.
so they put everything on the top of a historical. And they're trying to keep the historical sites restored.
Mhm.
They want to put in brand new businesses and things of that nature. The piping, everything is is bad. They just need to tear it down, but they won't because the powers that
Mm.
be doesn't allow it to let it be what it be.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you have
Uh-huh.
so you're saying like the building maybe you have some issues because the
Like
building is
test wise,
oh yeah. Yeah.
and there's a lot of things that need to be plugged. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, things like that. So, um, I mean, how do you tell someone this, and it has all this power, and you're like, hey, this needs to be done, and that needs to be done, but just like, well, okay, whatever.
Well, what is her experience in restaurant? I mean, does she have a lot of experience running restaurant, or is she just
Nah, she don't even know. Not that she don't know, she just have no clue of how to, set up schedule. Some employees are disgruntled because they have to work from 10 to 9. Um, her not being able to find help, her going about finding help is different. Um, Meaning, when I say different, it's like you just find somebody just randomly walking down the street. Hey, you want to work?
yeah?
I'm like, huh?
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, I mean it happens. It definitely happens. Um, it happens for a number of reasons. But yeah, if she's feeling overwhelmed,
Yeah, she is.
she's probably feeling overwhelmed, and trying to like I was saying, recruitment is can be another overwhelming process on top of all the other things that she's had to learn about. She had to learn about entrepreneurship, accounting, assets, inventory. I mean, that's you have a lot of stuff to learn trying to open up a restaurant. That's a lot. And then trying to manage people on top of that.
Yeah,
That's probably why she saw you and she's like she knew she needed you.
yeah. I think
And
she didn't know me from nothing. I think she just seen. I don't know what she. Man, I mean, I can't really tell you. I gotta ask her that. But see, I'm pretty good at those things. I've been in the business for a minute. Since I was 15. So
mm,
I just kind of picked up on how to manage people, how to speak with people, inventory. Even managing your trash.
mhm,
Um, what's so funny about it is that I used to feel like um, I'm in here washing dishes, man. But I never really tried to put my. I'm not a complainer or anything like that, but I had the chance to observe everything in the kitchen, from waiters to waitresses. Um, I had how people, how somebody treat a dishwasher is it's a totally different process to me because everybody can't do it.
hmm,
It takes a special individual. Not just that. When I say that, I'm meaning like, cause some people look at a position like if you're a garbage man, like this guy. Some people look at a garbage man. He should be getting paid 200,000 a year instead of 30,000.
mhm,
You know, that's how some people look at things. But it gave me a realistic perception of how things are supposed to work, how things are supposed to flow, um, or keeping things organized at all times. Like I think you always have to be moving and grooving when you're in a restaurant.
mhm.
You know, but I got her inventory and everything ready. She felt some type of relief um, from everything. She looks happier now.
I'm sure she does.
Yeah, she don't look depressed.
I'm sure she does. That makes a big difference. I mean, when you're in a business and you have somebody who can come in there and just take a hold of something. I mean, because there's so many aspects to running a business, particularly running a restaurant. Trying to do all that by yourself,
Oh yeah,
having somebody who is skilled, qualified, really knows what they're doing and is willing to put in the time and effort to really address some of the issues, that can make all the difference in the world. Even if it's, I mean, aside from the fact that you're probably doing a great job there, even just the fact of having someone else, because until that time, she was, she was there without any other qualified person, and she's not qualified herself. That's got to be um, that's
Yeah,
got to be incredibly scary.
it
You know,
is.
I mean, that's got to be really daunting. You have shipments coming in, you're ordering supplies.
Ordering things that don't need to be ordered.
You order so you don't even know what you ordering. If she doesn't understand inventory, she has stuff that's going bad on her. She's losing money.
Right.
You're gonna have all kinds of issues.
Like the hamburger meat was spoiling. Like we don't even sell them any.
Oh,
But then again, we might get an order where we selling hamburgers on one day, and we might get an order where we selling more wings. I'm not even into that type of food, but yes, it's only been open a year. You can't even really gauge what you're gonna send out the door.
right.
So I've been noticing we throwing away a lot of food. Um,
Mm.
but they charge a lot of money for it also. So you know,
So she understands pricing at least.
well, I mean, if you overcharge people, I mean, you really can't.
Well, maybe she knew enough to know that she needed to charge enough,
Mhm.
right, to include and to compensate for some of those losses. The cost of food waste or the cost of food spoilage or loss or any other issues that she's got going on.
She wins at the bar too, so it's a full bar. Um,
Mm,
like the margarita type. Those new things they have, like the bars with the margaritas, the slushies, and
oh wow. So she has somebody with a license. Does she have a licensed bartender?
she's not, but she has some of her family members that come in and help out that are.
Okay. Oh wow.
I don't even think they just kind of winging it.
Well, how long has she been around?
Year.
Hello.
Yeah, she been around for a year.
Oh. Wow. Wow. And she's made it. She's made it for a year struggling like that. Oh.
Yeah, well, she has a lot of friends that come in and support her. Like, I mean, they really support her for real. Like,
Oh wow.
I don't think they have anything to do with their day. They come in and just drink it up, drink.
Really?
Yeah, they do. But we have night, like we have trivia's, we have bands, we have a karaoke.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so those people bring an audience. That's kind of how we maintain, in a sense,
Yeah.
live performances.
Oh wow. So she's managed to get some people in her door. She just needs to manage the back. That's what it is. She's
Yeah,
having
that's it. Back.
trouble with the back end management.
Yup.
Okay. Oh wow. So it might be that um she's got something really good going. She's sort of managing some aspect of it in terms of being able to get people in there.
Hmm.
That's one thing. So she really just needed somebody who could manage the back of the house and has credentials in that area.
Right.
And then she came across you.
Yeah, but I don't really want the responsibility of because at the point of my life now, I really don't want to really manage too many people because people are just different now. I mean, back in the before we had too much of this social media stuff or whatever. Not that I'm blaming it on that, but just people are kind of to me, not everybody, but it's people so sensitive. They've been desensitized to a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to avoid conflict as far as you know what you share with somebody that can be helpful.
Yeah.
Kind
Yeah.
of
Right.
like okay, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally know what you mean. I mean, you know, just in terms of making some sort of an analogy. I mean, if you're in a kitchen you're working with people, and people are you clearly see people doing things the wrong way. You know, you might be tempted. So you're telling yourself like, okay, should I tell her to fix it, or should I just go over there and fix it? And then
Right.
you're like, if I go over there and fix it, then she's gonna come and ask who moved, whatever the tomato sauce,
Right.
right? And then there's a confrontation, like, well, you put the tomato sauce in the wrong place. It was next to whatever, and I moved it so that it would be. And then you never know, right? If she's having a good or a bad day, that could be a whole different situation.
Right.
Or especially if people are like friends and family, she could be a really good friend or family member of this woman, and now she's like insulted. I mean that. Oh, that's definitely. I definitely can see that as being a really tight situation. Um, I would. The only thing I would say is that it sounds like she really needs your expertise. So I think that whatever feedback she has from you, she's gonna value it like gold.
Oh yeah,
Sounds like she.
has. She has been. It's just sometimes I just can't. You just look at the point of like, oh my God, what is? Just like, oh man, I don't even want to share this. It might, make a shield crack or,
Yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely know. Yeah, I definitely know what you mean. But I mean, at least recommending that folks in there get certified. That could be that could be a massive step towards the right direction. If she's got a few people coming in there, it's just a matter of training them up. And in some cases, you can take a really short course, right? For the e-food handlers, how much does it take to really do the e-food? Sorry, not the e-food. How much does it take to do the food handlers? It's a few hours. Which you
It's,
did a food handler's license first, right?
it's class is like a couple of hours, few hours.
Right, a couple hours, and then
So it just depends on some people. They charge. I mean, I've been in situations where they charge differently. Some restaurants pay for it, some won't.
hmm
Some discount. You know, it just depends. Um, you know, but I don't think she want to go into dishing it out.
mm,
I don't think she really cares.
I
Yeah, her son works for her. Her son's back there.
oh
He's like, yeah, whatever. I don't care.
right
I don't just care. Like, how do you share this with her son?
right
You know,
mm. Oh man, yeah, that's definitely tough. I mean, that's definitely tough. I mean, so I kind of do the same thing sometimes when I have to give recommendations to people, and it's easy to get really frustrated. What I try to do is I try to talk to them from their perspective, and you start out by saying like, this is a great place. I really don't want anything to happen to it, and I'm really concerned that some of these things could have a big impact on the longevity of the business. You know, like when I talk to people about errors in a test or bad practices, people never want to clean up bad practices, but you try to talk to them from a standpoint of they're either going to lose money or they're going to get shut down.
correct.
So for me, when I'm talking to people about like test validation practices and stuff like that, you know, obviously you can't make anybody do anything, right? So it's not you can force them to do it, but you just make the recommendation and you say, hey, according to, such and such, like I generally will cite some guidelines or something like that. You really should be doing it this way. And, not doing it this way really leaves you vulnerable to a number of different situations. In your case, it's the health department. You know what I mean? And, I've never been around for a visit from the health department, but I can imagine that it wouldn't be pretty if you have some really unsanitary situations.
Yeah.
So expressing it to her from that point of view, and saying like, I'm really concerned that some of these, um, some of the things that we have going on could result in something really bad happening. Maybe the health department could come and and really close the place down, for some of these issues, and talk to it from her standpoint. Let her know like I wouldn't want this to happen, and that's why I'm telling you. And then add your recommendation on top of that. Like, I really think it would be good if your son took a couple hours of a training course. You know,
Mm.
I mean, especially for a restaurant that employs her, a lot of her family members. That's really important for the family to keep it. So she would be doing a service to, just communicate to them that they need to do a couple hours of training or make it available to them. Um,
So you know, like the saying some things that easier said than done. I'm sure you heard that before.
what'd you say?
Some things are easier said than done.
No, I completely understand all that. I completely understand all that.
So, you'll tell yourself that in this situation,
Yeah,
you'll tell yourself that, but um, it's like, well, I can get it done, and I can, you know, and also share it with them. But will they understand?
yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But you've talked to people in lots of different situations, so you probably are more skilled in that area than you give yourself credit. I mean, you have experience in different industries and working with different, um, restaurant types, or different establishment types. I think that's an advantage too. When speaking to her, you can talk to her about the different experiences that you've had, and particularly in terms of like working in the back in the kitchen, you probably have more, experience than she does. Not to say that that's something that you would say, but you could talk. You could really just speak about some of your experiences. You know, I mean, I'll say certainly like when we were in the, focus group meetings, we were having discussions. Those experiences that people share are really powerful, much more powerful than anything that you could just say. And I think I've found that to be the truth too. Like when I'm speaking to clients or prospects, you speak to them about experiences, and people start to really listen. You know,
Right.
like, hey, you told us a story about like working in the prison facility.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
That's a really powerful story. That's a really powerful story. Um, you talked about your current work situation and really wanting to motivate people. Just some of your experiences from some of your different work environments. Just sharing those with her. Even if you didn't like
I try to
say,
share that story with everybody though. Excuse me.
huh?
I tend not to share that story with everybody about, it wasn't a prison, it was a county.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But that that
But
experience was that was rewarding for me.
yeah, I mean, it's a powerful story. It's a really powerful story,
Because the pay
and
she would give us, she would award us. I guess that was her way of awarding us, like with like she'll make us hamburgers or
mm,
nachos. Sometimes she'll bring in fried chicken, corn on the cob, the different things like that. And some of the guys would just appreciate the fact that you wasn't eating that slop.
yeah,
Um,
that's
she sometimes she may add more seasoning to the food for us. Uh, the things that that you get every day at a daily restaurant. Those things we didn't have. She would provide it for us to enjoy our meals and things like that. So the morality was up, which I knew what she was doing. Um, but we didn't bump heads. She also had a restaurant outside of the facility,
hmm
and, which is called Goodfellas, located in Atlanta.
mm,
And I said, I said, well, can I come over there with you? 'Cause we had developed a great relationship. Her name is Miss Angel.
Mm.
Um, and she said, well, you gotta wait 6 months to even, link up, because we was together in this type of situation. I said, 6 months? What? She said, yeah, that's by law. I said, okay, well, I haven't tried it out yet, which I won't. But yeah,
Wow. No, that's. I mean, those kinds of things. People relate to life experiences. So even if it didn't come with a recommendation, it would probably help you establish some rapport with her and just develop a relationship with her. Because you're kind of just meeting this lady too, right?
it was at the
At the where you're working now.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, I met her like 4 months down the road.
But
I
I
met
can understand how you wouldn't feel like you have maybe enough rapport to make some of these really drastic recommendations
yeah, I do.
at this stage. Or do you?
What was your
Mm.
question? I heard you. I was. What was your question?
if I'm saying that if you've known her maybe for 4 months now,
Yeah, I mean, I've like I don't know her, but I mean, I know of her.
known of her, right? So I mean, I was saying that I can understand that I can understand you not feeling as though you really have built up enough rapport to really speak to really make, like, I mean, these would be pretty drastic recommendations for her. I mean, it would require some thought and some effort, and it could result in some changes. Um, so, I mean, I was saying that I can understand you not feeling like you have built up enough rapport with her to really just come in there and like start heavy hitting.
Oh
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
You come in on a job, and then you're just like, oh no, this ain't right, this ain't right, this ain't right. You
yeah.
know,
That's,
I can understand not wanting to do that.
that's exactly right. Yeah.
But so I was saying, yeah, even if you didn't want to, if you didn't feel comfortable making those recommendations at this stage, even just sharing those stories with her could be like, it could just help you build a relationship, you know,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
maybe you'll get to a point where you feel more comfortable, like you have some more ground to just say some of the things you need to say, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm getting to that point, but it's I'm gonna take it slow.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely hear you on that. Um, I definitely hear you on that. You don't want to rush through it, and yeah, I mean, ultimately too, you're kind of like you kind of just want to come to work, go home.
Pretty much. I mean, I have that attitude, but I don't like. I just like to get the job done.
Right.
What's the task for today? Now I'm coming in, I'm asking guys to see where they're at mentally. When I ask the word like, yo, what's the mission for today? What needs to be done? What needs to be
Mhm.
scrubbed? What can we possibly clean? It just looking like look up to the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. I'm like, oh my god. Now I have to play leadership, and I just it's like,
It's a lot.
yeah,
It's a lot, but I mean, you were leading. Well, you were leading maybe a more qualified team in your last position.
you can't, but you don't want to lead people that don't want to walk.
Yeah.
They don't even
Yeah. That's what.
you don't even
Yeah.
want to do the mentality. It's like, oh man, you don't even want to take one step forward, like just
Yeah.
an inch to get you there. You just attempt, and you slide to the right, crisscross. I'm like,
Yeah.
crisscross on it.
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean. I definitely know what you mean. Well, we'll definitely keep you in prayer, man. I mean, it's, I mean, to a certain extent, Yeah, it's just kind of
That's
a
my
matter of
friend said. That is so crazy. That's what he said, and then he said, "Hey man, just he said pray, man." I said,
give you a prayer.
"Y'all talking about prayer? When you say prayer, you know the situation. Just it
Got it.
shouldn't be like that. You should be praising. I mean, I get it, but
Yeah.
he said, just pray." I'm like, oh, Lord. Yeah,
I mean, to a certain extent, I can kind of see where you are, and it kind of seems like, you know, it kind of seems like, yeah, what you're doing right now is kind of just kind of the best thing to do. Just kind of come in there and kind of, build rapport with people, build relationships with people as best you can, so that you can so that
what,
you can prevent something
did
catastrophic.
God tell me not to talk to nobody?
He told you not to talk to anybody.
I'm just talking.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that, yeah, just coming in there and kind of just being yourself, getting to know people is 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 the best thing you do. And I think there will come a point, though. What always happens is that there comes a point where something really major occurs, and
Right.
then suddenly everybody is deferring to you, and everybody's like, "Jonathan, what are we gonna do? What do we do?"
And
You know
I've
what I
been
mean?
in that situation plenty of times, but I had to kind of like look away and let them learn on their own.
Mm.
Which is, they kept asking me. I'm like, I got five other things going on over here.
Right. I can't do your work and do my work. Yeah.
Yeah, without really, want to tell you, but I don't want to say it right now because I don't want to get frustrated.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. 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 I mean, it has to be something. I mean, maybe it will be the health department visit. Unfortunately,
I
you know
hope
what I mean.
don't say that.
Maybe the health department will come, and you'll be standing there, and everybody will be standing around, and suddenly they'll be waiting for every single word that you say. You know what I mean? I think that is what it might come to, and unfortunately, sometimes it takes situations like that for people to really understand the value
Right.
of of leadership. You have somebody there who's trying to train you, who's trying to give you an understanding of what you need to do in order to, you know, maintain a certain level of health and sanitization. And, if you're not listening to that person on a daily basis, this is what could happen. And sometimes they need to see that, especially if they don't have experience in the field because they've never, they don't know about restaurants getting shut down. They don't know they haven't seen that kind of stuff like you have, like some of your colleagues have,
Right.
Leah was talking about, when the health department come in here, they haven't been around for those types of events. So sometimes people just need to have those experiences, or else they have no understanding. You know what I mean?
Right. But I hate going in places where the health department has it at a 95 and it's really a 61. That's the part
Oh,
I hate.
oh wow. Well, how does that? Well, people have learned to kind of shape themselves up for those visits, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of people
and then
just
they.
they kind of know. Oh, yeah, they go to they go to car. They know that car.
Ah.
Instead of just being on top of it without the health department coming in, it shouldn't even be. I mean,
Right.
it just says a lot about just the person overall, and it just disgusts me to see that, because going through so many trials and things in the business, and having different positions. And some positions you go to a restaurant, you can do it, but you just like, what? I don't want to deal with this challenge. I want to just you know get my check, keep it moving. So I find
Mhm.
something where you know the environment is comfortable, it's healthy for,
Yeah.
for yourself. You know, uh,
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a combination, though. I mean, I think sometimes we see people as not having the effort or not putting forth the effort to do something. But I think sometimes also that they really generally lack understanding of the importance. And because they lack an understanding and because they're afraid of going through that learning process, like you'll find a lot of people who just are afraid to ask a question. You know what I mean? Because they don't want to ask you a question, they'll be in a restaurant doing stuff however they figured out how to do it because they literally just don't want to ask questions. They don't want to look silly. You know what I mean? They've already been working in a restaurant, so they don't want to look like they've been doing something wrong for the past year.
Right.
So
That'd probably hurt bruise the ego.
exactly, exactly. So it's not necessarily that they just don't care, but that they kind of get themselves into the situation because of maybe some other incompetence that because they first of all they came to the restaurant because they care, they wanted to help. She needed people, they needed a job. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna learn something different. I'm gonna learn a different trade. But before you came in there, they had a whole bunch of unqualified people together. That can be a very toxic and difficult situation.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody in there that really knows what they're doing. And so you start to make up these practices, and now they're embarrassed. You know what I mean? They have you coming in there, you're a trained professional, you understand what's going on. And so they're embarrassed, and they're not only embarrassed alone, they're embarrassed together.
And you know what? When I first came in there, I came in. It was of course it's hot in Georgia,
Yeah.
very very humid. So I came in there with a sleeveless shirt,
Hmm.
but I mean it was like a jersey. But I was doing that on purpose to, to gauge how important this is to her,
Hmm.
the rest of the team. And I think after about a week, she pulled me to the side. She said, "Hey, Jonathan, you know, my friend was sitting down and we was just observing, and you wear a shirt with sleeves." I'm like, "Oh, so okay." So it's you got more people that's in your ear telling you kind of like what to do, how you need to do it, whatever, whatever. But does that technically mean that they know anything about the restaurant?
Hmm.
Like, I mean, which they do. I mean, obviously, but I was just gauging to see if she was up to speed with what's really going on. Because she wanted me to come in as the chef. And it's already a guy that is the chef. So she wanted me to learn from him, but he don't have the skills that I have in order to. He don't know how to teach
Hmm.
or you know how to share information to where you can understand. He's like, well, if you just look at me do it, then you'll figure it out. And it's like, well, some
Right.
people just don't look. I said, I'm telling the guy, I'm like, oh man, I gotta share this with him. And I'm like, hey man, I said I can learn visually, but hands on, this
What kind of stuff was he trying to teach you?
like preparing the meals, setting up for the morning, what we'll do at night. He was teaching me basically everything. But
Okay.
we don't have a lot of orders that's going out. We might get maybe on a slow day we might get about probably about 15 orders on a slow. Like today is Tuesday.
Hmm.
We'll probably get about 15 orders. The food is high, so we're gonna make sales. And in order for the bar to stay open, you have to hit 60% sales in food and 40% in liquor. I mean alcohol sales.
Okay.
So the fact that the prices are so high, we always gonna hit 60% in sales. So I may see a ticket come back and I'm like, $200 and something dollars at this restaurant. Like who spends $200 at? So I'm asking like, well, I see the food is expensive. That's you're gonna spend $40 on the food. And I'm thinking like the bar, like what are they buying? They must be spending money at the bar. And that's a lot of money to spend at the bar.
Right, but you said it's like it's her people.
Yeah, it's her people, so
Wow.
and then I found out that they was I don't want to say, I'm not gonna say that, but yeah, so, but it's part of a pretty big club. So
Oh.
yeah, but what she don't know is that I actually done a crab boil for for their particular members of this club that they're a part of. Um, so basically, they're part of they're Shriners. I don't know if you ever heard of a Shriner.
Mm. No, sounds like the Masons or something like that.
Yeah, something like in that world, whatever. But yeah, so she was sharing that with me. I was like, what. I'm not trying to be too nosy, but she was sharing it with me. So I was like, okay, I see what's going on. Okay, I see why you're afloat.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm having a conversation with her, one of the employees there, and he was like, man, this restaurant would do good in a coastal location like Florida, somewhere alongside the coast.
Hmm.
I said, you know what? You're right. It really would. I said, but the only thing about it is that you have to have, I think you have to draw it up differently than what it is here.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's an opportunity that I would like to go into as far as approaching her with ownership.
Mm. Okay.
Because I'm looking at it like from that point, like we can build it from the ground up. Because I know the people that can get it done. Um, I mean, I'm sure they'll work with me on anything that needs to be done. Uh, we can keep the same concept, but maybe change it up a little bit, change the atmosphere a little bit, the lighting and things like that, and throw it on the coast. The only thing about the coast is like, of course, it's gonna be the difference. The cost is gonna be different.
Oh yeah, they wow. Absolutely ridiculous.
That's that's probably the scary part, but
Yeah.
I think it can work out like that. I don't want to bring that to her not no time soon.
Right. 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 You got other work to do, and
Way down the road.
yeah, yeah. But it's nice to have a plan, and it's nice to have. So okay, so you do have like something really to look forward to, because at first it kind of sounded like you were just in this restaurant, kind of drowning under all of these like code violations.
Yeah,
But now I kind of see like you're seeing maybe a franchise opportunity.
right. And that'd be great because I know it's
Yeah.
going. That's just I know how to pretty much do it.
Okay. Well, and also keep your eye out for like franchise workshops and stuff like that. There are a lot of organizations like BrandNet that will, give you classes and just offer various resources for, building franchise models and that kind of thing. What things to carry over, what to change, and um, there are a couple of. I know a guy actually who I might call, who I might connect you with, who just had he has a lot of franchise resources. He opened up a franchise. He has it's like a computer hardware networking thing, but he knows a lot about franchising and has a lot of those resources. So could be could be interesting. When you are, obviously, yeah, you're not, just like you're saying, you're not focused on that right now, but yeah, I can see how you're like working towards that goal. So
In the
um,
next couple of weeks, I will be totally committed on going towards that way. It's just my situation with the car wreck, and not having, but not that I don't, I have transportation. It's just that know with my license and everything like that. I had to get that taken care of. So that's been kind of like the setback. But what's so crazy, the guy, this guy, he caters food worldwide. He's from Germany.
Mhm.
Caters food worldwide. He has few businesses down here, and he's been talking about opening up a restaurant with me.
Mm.
Yeah, and we had this conversation. Restaurant I was located at. Um, and he said, He said, man, he said, how do you prepare this? He said, this is so good. And I knew I always prepare. It's some eggs, of course. It was eggs, and I always prepare my eggs differently from everybody else that I worked alongside. And it's I guess it was the texture of the eggs that he enjoyed because I enjoyed them that way. And I said, man, these are the best eggs I ever had. I knew he wasn't lying because they was the best eggs I ever had. I'm like, damn, I know how to cook some good eggs. I wonder if so. I was waiting on the person who was gonna acknowledge it, and
Mhm.
and it was him. He started breaking everything down. Hey, you need to come see me, blah 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 blah. And after the accident, I lost. We just got fell out of touch with each other. One
Mm.
day it snowed in Georgia, and it was about 11:30, 12 at night. I'm a night owl, and so I said, you know what? Let me go for a walk. So I'm drawing in the snow or whatever. I'm going to the store, and he shows up. I said, look at this. I said, this ain't nothing but this ain't nothing but God's doing. I know this is. I said, it's
Yeah.
snowing. It's snowing. It's 12 in the morning. He shows up. I said, hey man, I said, excuse me, sir. I said something to him. I said, you know anything about something about the restaurant industry? He was like, He was looking at me weird. Like he's like I don't know you. It was like, who are you talking to? Because he has this real like demeanor about business. Like he's straightforward, and I knew that he how he was approaching me. That's how he kind of go about his business,
Mhm.
and I'm like, and I like the fact that he's passionate about it. So I got a little bit out of him. So I had to follow him outside. I said, "Excuse me, sir. Can I talk to you for a second?" He said, "Huh?" He said, "What's going on?" Like I said, I took off my hat. He said, "Hey, Jonathan." He said, "Hey man, you ready to open up the business? Are you ready to?" I said, "Yeah, just give me a few more months and I'm gonna approach you." But the first time I walked upon this man, he was like, "Hey, I need you to go to Atlanta to this restaurant shop. This lady, she sells all this equipment. I need you to go talk to her right now."
Mm.
I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right. You serious?" I gotta
Yeah.
yeah, I gotta approach you on a different level. But I'm definitely gonna need some classes and some
Yeah.
professional assistance. I wanna get better at uh um not that I'm not professional. 'Cause I've been in so many environments where people are just not professional. But I wanna work on my professionalism as
Hmm.
far etiquette and things like that in in the restaurant world, I should say.
Well, I mean, you've had a lot of experiences in the kitchen, and have you gotten to experience some of the other aspects of um, running a restaurant, maybe from the investment perspective or from the business perspective?
That's the part I'm gonna have to that's exactly like dealing with certain contracts.
Yeah, contracts. And,
Yeah, because I know it's one company that comes in and sells just everything to every store, and it's like their onion rings are not good, their fries are nasty. Like how do you say? Well, we have to just deal with these people. You don't have to just deal with them.
hmm
You
like
know,
finding suppliers, but I mean, it's true. Once you have a supplier relationship set up, um, I mean, I can imagine how that can be difficult, difficult to change. I mean, most people just don't want to go through the process of looking for a supplier, possibly posting for a supplier, you know, tasting the products,
Yeah,
redoing
like
contract, just like you said, and then they might also have to deal with some approval process. Like certain suppliers are going to be approved, and maybe that's why they were saying that they need to deal with that
I,
because it's
I think that's
their.
what it is. It's like that you can deal with it, but you they're ripping you off in a sense, you know.
Yeah.
But we have a guy that comes in that drops off like natural lettuce is grown from the farm and things. I don't know if they're supposed to do that, but they find a way to work it out. I guess. However,
Mm.
you know, it's, I'm not gonna go that route. I don't want to, dealing with a company. I don't know if you ever heard of a company called Cisco.
Cisco,
Yeah, Cisco.
like computer networking.
Oh no, there's a food. Yeah, people say that. That's the first thing I thought when I heard it too.
Mm.
No, it's actually a food distributor,
Okay.
but they have their own fries, their own mayonnaise. And it's not even good. I mean, I'm not saying it's not good. It's it's better things that are out there on the market. Put it like
Hmm. But they have a lot of contracts, and they're like probably approved supplier or something like that.
yeah, that might be the case because the company next door deals with Cisco also,
Mm.
and the company over across the street deals with Cisco.
Oh
And
wow.
so, yeah,
It might be too that there are like some restrictions in that region. I mean, I know, for instance, like um, we have a lot of in NYC. We have all kinds of different like local food networks, in addition to distributors that are coming from overseas and all over the country. But then you can imagine that some of these places that are not as accessible maybe have a more limited supplier network to select from.
that's exactly true. That's right.
Yeah, so maybe if you're like in certain locations, you only have maybe one or two suppliers, or maybe three suppliers to choose from, who are going to really get the food to you, get it to you on time, every time.
Right.
They just understand the regulations that because I mean, you the nationwide supply, they have to like understand some local regulations, so they have to be able to do business locally, and there might only be one or two people.
Yeah, supplying the same food.
Yeah.
It's like, and you start realizing. I mean, with me, I don't go to the like everything start to taste the same. Like every
Yeah.
restaurant, you don't even want to go in there. You try to look for some type of
Something different.
yeah, not hole in the wall, but something, like, just trying out things, and you just like, oh man, let me just get the house of food.
I mean, I guess that's why too. Yeah, they rely on the cooks. I mean, when she was saying that she wanted you to come in and cook, she's expecting you to kind of add your flair, to the food, which might not.
And that's what I want to do, but they already have like the ingredient chart set up already to where
Mm.
I heard people that commented about food is like this food is so nasty over here. I'm like, well,
Oh.
you can add some things to this recipe to make it better, but they don't want to do that. They just not going with it. They want to stick. They have their own way, like a tradition, I guess. I'm
Oh.
not a traditionalist or anything like that, but I understand people that
Have traditions. Yeah.
yeah, my tradition. And it's like, well, I guess sometimes you just gotta, pull a Plexico beers and just shoot yourself in the foot sometimes and
Well,
learn the hard way, I guess. But
so they don't want to change the recipes.
they don't. But in the back of the house, the son kind of does his own thing with the rest. He's not necessarily going, 1 tablespoon, 3 tablespoons. He's adding a little extra over the top, and then they'll come back and say, "Hey, this doesn't taste the same. What is, I'm like,
Oh, wow.
now he's just kind of carefree doing his own thing. What you gonna say to your son if you don't say anything to him?
Mm,
And it's not a problem with me. The son thing is cool. It's just he's the ones that he's doing it.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's a problem for a number of reasons. I mean, not only do customers like consistency, but people want to know what's in the food. If you have one ingredient list and you're putting something else in there, or you're adding something else, I mean, I went to, or even for instance, the food is prepared on a surface that is contaminated with something else. I mean, I went to a restaurant the other day, and I think that was, it was like everything kind of had this like fish residue taste. I was
Yeah.
like, I was like, I'm pretty sure this is not like. I mean, I ordered, plantains and black eyed peas, but it had this like fish
Oh yeah.
like aftertaste to it, like all of it. So I'm like, okay, you either not cleaning your surfaces, or like you're mixing up the serving spoons or something weird was going on.
Oh yeah. 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 That guy.
But that's an issue not only for like dietary reasons, but if somebody has an allergy and you're just carefree in the kitchen, and they're looking at the ingredients label and they're like, no, it should have this, it should have this. Or just like Leah was saying, where people are expecting to get, a certain amount of salt or a certain amount of sugar, particularly for people that have health issues. They're not expecting to order something that has more or less than what they thought was going to be in there.
Right.
So,
Right. I agree with you. I was gonna share this with you. All of this right here is just preparing me, and I know it is.
yeah.
For what not. You know, I think it should be like a course what you shouldn't do in a restaurant. And, you
Yeah.
know,
Well, I mean the food safety does that, but it's true. Like, do you get some more, I guess, more general training about, I mean, I guess it would be up to you to seek out maybe something.
like just wipe, like clean as you go, like simple stuff, like wipe as you go.
Yeah.
You wipe as you go, you actually save more energy.
Mhm.
Like
Rather than making a whole big mess and like, oh, I'll clean it.
yeah, and it just keeps everything. I think as you wipe as you go, if people get in the habit of that, it kind of eliminates, um, you just being stagnated for the day.
Mhm.
Wipe as you go, you'll find stuff like you like, uh, let me just hit that real quick, and then
Mhm.
like, oh, I could just do one final wipe down and we out.
Mhm.
You
Right
know,
at the end of the day, rather than having like
you
piles
got
and piles.
a tire store, which is nothing wrong with it, but those things should be done like maybe twice. Certain things you could do twice out the week for the
Mhm.
um, as such. But cleaning, I clean from top to bottom. Try to get people onto that.
In the morning or.
Um, all the time, you know, morning, especially when we close. That's the first thing that I do in the morning. I wipe down, you know,
Mhm.
sanitize everything, and then I go into preparing the meals. So it's just kind of my thing. I've been doing it for a minute, so um, it helps me with the rest of the day. I feel comfortable.
Mhm.
First, let me wipe down certain things first, then okay, run things to the dishwasher. Get my sanitizer water ready.
Yeah.
Some people don't even get. I get my first thing I do. I get my dish water ready.
Okay. So that you can clean the dishes as you go along.
as I go. Correct.
Hmm.
Um, so
And does the dishwater contain a certain solution?
I just use Dawn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I try because I realize too, people spend money on those floor products. It costs
Mhm.
$30, $40 a bottle, and people still don't know how to use it. They're still gonna get water and bleach. So there's really no. I mean, you can use it, but it's no point of having it out. You
Well,
know,
I was in the impression from certain of the some of the regulations that there was like maybe certain chemicals that you needed to use for certain processes. And maybe so like for instance, Dawn might contain a chemical, and maybe there are different versions, different variations. Like you can get Dawn dish liquid soap, or you can get like some super high end dish liquid soap, but it
right?
would contain the same chemical, basically.
Yeah, it would. Normally, it would. I mean, most other things do. And then when you have those high end chemicals, you know, those things sometimes it might, for instance, someone may have, like for me, I have sensitive skin.
Yeah.
Those things are not good on my skin. Now you got an issue going to, got to go to workers' comp. Doctor to get this particular lotion that costs $100 a bottle. You like what? It works.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely.
You know,
Um,
certain things you can avoid. I mean, even though you need that in place, but those are the simple truths that I found to be, you know, really movies.
mhm.
Hey man, use Dawn. You don't have to use that much. Um, conserving water. Um, things like that, like motion sensor lights. Those things. I like that type of stuff. I mean, that's just because my eyes don't do very well with a lot of light.
Mm.
Now if I'm cooking, I like a lot of light. It's just like a doctor's at his surgeon table.
Mhm.
Particular light there. I'm not sure if he want it too bright or how he want to dim it. All those things go into play.
Okay.
You know, lights that come on as you walk along. I don't know. You've seen it probably like on the movies or something like that. But
Like on a catwalk. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, like yeah,
I
pretty
know
much
certain grocery stores now, like if nobody is in the freezer aisle, you walk into the freezer aisle and then suddenly it lights up.
it lights up, right? You see,
Yeah.
that's those things are important. So I'm surprised
Mhm.
people are picking up on that. When I first experienced it, I was like, wow, this is
Yes, they just have haphazard lighting.
correct.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying. I mean, even just cooking in a regular kitchen at home, you kind of want a certain light.
Like you may use
That.
sunlight. Like, I like cooking with sunlight.
Mhm.
Natural is, but if I have to use it, like if I got something else going on, I will flick on the light switch, obviously. But
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
sunlight is good. It's just my preference.
Yeah. Some of those preferences though have to do with like you wanting to really be good at what you're doing.
Right.
Somebody who comes in and they just will put on any old light versus somebody who comes in and is really particular about the lighting situation. That's somebody who wants to go above and beyond. Like this is the job I came in to do, and I want to do it. I want to make sure I'm doing it really well.
Yeah. You want to do it with people that appreciate it. I like working with people that's passionate and appreciate you
Yeah.
know, in the industry. Uh, Got to be around those type of people. But the other people, I just tend to like pull myself away. I'm not that I'm getting frustrated with them, but it could frustrate me. But my experience, I just kind of like kind of brush it off.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. I can definitely imagine just being really. I mean, that happens to me too. You know, you're in a job and you're working with people that just don't have the same attention to detail, or they just don't feel like it's worth the extra energy to do this or to do that. You know, you sound like you wanted to make some of the recommendations I was making at an old job about like just being efficient. You know, some of the things that we could do to be more efficient. Oh, we could do it this way, and I would put all this energy into like developing these really innovative, like efficient processes, and nobody wanted to use them. And I just couldn't imagine. I was like, you know, this could save so much time on your workday. I mean, as much time as we took, like basically we were like recreating these badges, and I kind of like developed this system just so that we could reuse them, so that you didn't have to just recreate them. I mean, it could easily save everybody an hour or 2 hours, you know, just with the amount of time that people spent recreating the same thing over and over and over again. Save you 2 hours out of your workday. Nobody wanted to do it. And again, I don't know if it's like I think it was somewhat it was kind of tradition where even though it took them really a ridiculous amount of time to recreate this this piece of work the same time each time, there was like it was a tradition of finalizing a project, and that was kind of the last piece to be done after each project. So
Uh,
they felt like maybe there was some kind of finality in doing that piece. And you know, I think it was more tradition, but it I mean, even though it took you 2 extra hours and maybe you don't leave work, you know, until like late in the evening, they just wanted to do it that way.
mm,
So I mean, I definitely know what you mean. Where like you want to go into work and you want to work with people that want to make improvements and want to continually improve the process. But it can be difficult and very frustrating if people do not have that same mindset, you know, that you do, and they're just like, oh wow, I just come to work and do the same old thing every day, and then I wait for 11 o'clock to come, and then, they're like that.
like I have like I look, I have goals that
Right.
I go to work, but I also have personal goals like of the day that I want to accomplish just for myself. I might just throw that in the back of my mind, like, hey, let me see if I can get this accomplished. Just those little personal things that I write off for myself that keeps me motivated. Just living life in general.
Mhm.
Um, and like even with this situation with the young lady, uh, I don't think she's. I hope she don't quit, but every day is kind of looking like she might shut down.
Mm.
And it's another gentleman, which he's really into business. He asked me the question the other day. He said, "Jonathan, what's going on over there?" I don't think she's gonna last.
Mm.
Talking about how they run in the bar and things like that. He said, I went over there and they just drink, 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 drink. He said, but she's not capitalizing on this, that, and the third. And I'm like, you're right. And I know that he know that I see that. He sees it as just coming in as a customer. I'm like, so, you know,
So like, is she in a bar management position?
no, she's just the owner. She's just, she owns it.
Oh, the owner is like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the other guy, they're owners and they're a couple, they married. And So so the situation, it's just the situation. It's just
It's a little bit of a sticky situation.
the son works there, and it's not the son's real father.
Oh.
So that's that situation.
Oh my God. You got a lot going on, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So certain things you
You got
want
a
to
lot
say, but
going on.
yeah, but you just don't know how you, cause you know I'm understanding. I'm like, well, if I'm a son working,
Right. Oh,
that is not my father.
oh my goodness.
So that's like you just don't even want to talk about nothing. Like, you just like, ah, man, like,
Wow. Oh my goodness. Um, that is incredibly complex.
right?
That's incredibly complex. Yeah, I would not even. I mean, yeah, that's tough. That's just a tough situation to be in. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're handling it. I think if anybody could be in there handling it would be you. And I think if anybody could come out victorious, it would be you. And I
Uh,
can see how a couple years from now, you'll have your own spot. If that's what you really do, it sounds like that's really what you would want to do. I kind of see you actually though. I mean, you've done a lot of restaurants. I don't know. For some reason, I saw you more like in catering. I don't know, but
that's,
because that kind of like level of detail, that kind of like rigor and just execution. When I think about it, I think about it
I like catering.
being
Catering is
really well in catering. But you'll be guided as you go along, and you'll have some experiences that will guide you in a direction, and you never know. But I'll be there, ready to taste your food.
Hey, can you drop on that? Can we what's the app it was on? I had to download the Firefox.
Second Life.
Yeah, second, like, yeah. That's right. I gotta go back into that. And
Yeah.
you can actually develop your own restaurant in that.
Yes. So it's funny you mentioned that. So if that was something that you wanted to do, that's actually a very good tool that people will use, like for investors.
Oh,
Because you can actually just build the restaurant out basically, and you can give the investors a walkthrough of the restaurant
oh yeah. Okay.
before
That-
they've spent any money. And you can use it for other things too. Like you can see that we've built out a kitchen. You can use it for training purposes if you want to train people. You can use it. You can just use it for all kinds of different stuff.
Okay.
So so yeah, I'm around. I generally have it just running on a second laptop, and you can always stop by. Send me a line. I'm in the office, or we can hang out in the kitchen if you want to stop by. Or yeah, if you have some ideas around that and uh, you wanna show a prospective investor or partner, uh, definitely let me know. You can stop by, and you can always. I mean, that's the thing too, is that the software is open source. You can get in there and start building your own kitchen.
Okay.
If that's what you want to do, and totally just lay it out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I change out the the format. I want to put more of like with my employees. This is something I'm winging. Um,
Hmm.
thought about as far as clothing wise, um,
Hmm.
being comfortable. See, I'm into athletics also. I like to kind of incorporate the things that I do in my daily life
Okay.
into other business, like compression, more compressions.
Mm.
Due to my the injury that I suffered during my car.
Right.
Certain things I can't wear. Certain things I have to wear in order to balance out um, injuries, a lifetime injury, obviously. I
Mm.
think um, that can be even a way of promoting. I noticed. Waffle House started doing it.
They
Um,
have a certain.
well, they implemented the like the sleeves for the grease, so the grease won't pop on your skin. Yeah, they
Oh.
got like the you know how you got the compression sleeves where basketball players wear,
Yeah.
and they have their logo on it also. So
Oh.
some customers that come in, they you know they look at it like, oh y'all got basketball sleeves? Oh my god, that is you know they just infatuated with the whole thing, the concept of it, but um you know what's the I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I'm here when you were in the sim. I think you did. You were in the kitchen at one point, right?
I haven't. I gotta just play with it and get back in there. I don't know. It's something going on with the Second Life thing. On my computer, I had to create at least about 3 or 4 different passcodes. I wasn't able to get back in. Give
Hmm.
me a hard time for some reason. Um, but I will. I'm gonna tap back into it. I'm gonna try it out and see what's going on. But
Well, we do have some time now if you want to try and troubleshoot so that we can get you back in the kitchen. Uh, if you have your computer now, we can.
yeah, I'm online right now. Check.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm online. And yeah, I mean, you're right. You know, building out a kitchen, it can be useful for so many different things.
So let me. Do you all? Are y'all just? Of course, you all are based. You in New York, correct?
Yeah.
Do you all just like? So what? I mean, like, are y'all
So
just
one of the
office in New York?
one of the reasons why I wanted to work in virtual environment is that none of my team members are actually located anywhere near where I am.
Uh,
So yeah, so you just have people all over the place. I mean, Fire is also on the phone, for instance. He's on mute, but he's in Germany. And then who else? I mean, everybody basically who I work with is in a different location. Um,
oh, that's what
so
the
yeah, we do.
Muscam. That's the German.
Mustakim, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, he's in Germany. So you'll see. This is really the only opportunity that we get to actually interact, um, because otherwise everybody is in a different place. Um, and then, so if you extend that concept out, you know, it's the same thing where if you have somebody, for instance, for training purposes, you don't want to just put them on the job and see what they'll do. You can use something like this, a simulation, to see whether they can actually do the job first. So
Oh,
in terms of building out a kitchen, it's like, okay, we have a kitchen. So now, you know, let's get people in the kitchen. And we have one of the food managers in the kitchen, for instance, Eleanor, you know, and she pointed out exactly what was wrong with everybody. You know, you need to have your, you know, she talked about the sleeves, she talked about the dress, how you need to be dressed. You know, one of the role players had really long hair. She's like, you need to tie your hair back. You need to do that. You know what I mean? So being
right.
able to see how people can interact in a virtual environment, then you bring them into the real world environment. You know, rather than the reverse where you just bring them into the real world and they're doing all kinds of stuff. You know, just like you said, you got hamburger meat all in the back.
Right.
Now, that's something that if they would have been in our virtual kitchen first, they would have been able to identify stuff like that because we can set up situations where you have the inventory that you need to manage or where you have, you know, meat products that you need to know how to keep at temperature. You need to know how to store properly and all that kind of stuff. And you can manage those situations or you can simulate those situations before people actually have to get into them, you know. And we simulate them in a virtual environment, and no food is wasted. No
Yeah,
food is wasted. Nobody gets fed any bad meat. there you don't have the same ramifications that you have in the real world environment. So, do you have your computer now?
Yes, I'm on it right now.
All right. So if you open up the Firestorm viewer, and you said you had to change your password a
Oh
bunch
yeah,
of
yeah.
times.
I got it. I got Second Life. I'm just trying to figure out getting in my I got the Firefox and everything. Everything's on there. Just I don't know. Just I don't know what happened as far as me getting inside that kitchen. I just
The Firestorm viewer is what you'll use. If you've created your password when you went to the Second Life website, you'll use that password to log into the Firestorm viewer.
I wonder can you create like like for my kids, can you create like a basketball simulations? You still on here something like that? That's just outside. I know what you got going on, but
You can create all kinds of stuff. For instance, you met Kathy in the kitchen. She built that kitchen out, and she's also a race car driver. So she goes somewhere else to go race car driving, and then she'll come back to the kitchen. So you can do any number of things in a virtual environment. You have different levels of reality. You have different levels of interaction. So, for instance, they do have like a mainland, which would basically be like kind of like simulation of the U.S. somewhat, where you could actually like build a little shop, and there will be other people there. You'll have neighbors that you have to interact with, and all that kind of stuff. Or you can find a more private location and build your simulation. But on the mainland, you can find lots of different events, and maybe you could find a basketball game, for instance. Um, you can find. I mean,
so could you pull like I know in one of the virtual reality you had a screen where you was kind of like demonstrating.
hmm yeah.
Uh,
So we were in the kitchen, and basically that screen just displays a web browser. It's a web browser basically. And then it's a web browser on top of a board.
yeah.
um,
Okay.
but basically, you can build anything. I think the web browser is just like the texture. Basically, the web browser is like the skin, and the object is just a board. It's a flat box. Um, it's the kind of thing that's really easy to build. So you can build something like this, or you can get stuff out of the marketplace. So let's say you didn't want to model your own basketball. You can go into the marketplace and get a basketball for something like however much a basketball in the marketplace might cost.
Okay.
Um, and it's not terribly expensive. It's very reasonable. Um, and you could do that for your whole environment if you wanted. You could find um, you could find objects. You could find a basketball net. You could find a court, and just you have to find somewhere to put them. So let's say you wanted to. Depends on what you want to do. You let's say you wanted to simulate a basketball game. Okay, you either would just like in real life, you'd own your own basketball team and your own court and your own land to put the court on, or you would rent it from someone else. Like this space where my virtual office is and where the kitchen is rented.
Oh, okay. So how would you rent it? I mean, what's the process?
It's very much like real life. Like basically, you gotta go in here, you gotta talk to people, you gotta negotiate with people. You'll look in the marketplace. People put listings up. Yeah, it's basically it's very much like real life. I mean, we were at auctions trying to find um,
You know,
land, and let me see if fire, or I mean,
Y'all was at what type of auction? Was like at a restaurant auction?
so yeah, you might. I mean, this was a land auction,
Oh,
so
okay.
it was basically just you could get land and
Okay, is the static back again? Because I
yeah,
opened
it's
up my
back.
microphone. Ah, no. Okay, let me reduce the microphone boost a little bit if that's causing all the noise.
Okay.
Um,
We're trying to get. I mean, yeah, we're hoping that maybe we can get Jonathan in the kitchen
so
today.
filter. I
Oh,
have
that
the
sounds
I have
that
the
sounds good.
filter on. I have the filter on. I might try to speak a little louder than normal.
Are you moving a lot?
No, no.
Okay.
And also my microphone is just static on the table, like a stand and
Oh.
a normal microphone.
It sounds good right now.
Oh, okay, all right.
I don't know if it's because you're sitting still or what, but it sounds right.
No, I reduced the microphone boost. Like the
Oh, okay,
software
okay,
based microphone boost. Yeah. So
okay.
yeah,
Are you in the office?
I am in the kitchen actually.
Oh, okay. So, um, so Jonathan, where are you now?
Um, well, in real life.
In virtual life. And actually, if you could, are you calling from your laptop?
Yeah.
Because if you could share your screen, then we could just see what's going on.
I already downloaded this area. Let me oh, I gotta log in. Okay, I'm in. Alright, you want me to share the screen?
Yeah.
How would I go about sharing the screen?
You called from you opened the call from your laptop, right? So in the upper right hand side, do you see three dots? Oh, hey.
That you talking about with the chat box we talking about?
There should be three dots either on the upper right hand side, or if you hover your mouse over the left side, a green square box will pop up and it says share screen.
Um, I definitely don't see three dots. I don't even see it. It's not three dots on here at all. And I'm hovering over everything. Let me see. I don't even see it.
Okay. Um,
I don't even know. I'm gonna just. Can you send me an invite?
uh, yes. Are you logged in?
Yes, I'm logged in.
What is your screen name?
John.
Oh,
The letter B. as in boy, and P as in Paul. John BP.
John BP. John.
The BP.
I see. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. John. Are you Pooley?
You see my who?
John. John loves BP. Dot Pooley.
No, no, John the BP. JOHNTHEBP.
Oh, D.
He
Oh,
has
okay.
a boy.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Okay, just sent you a friend request.
All right. You say you don't have any friends. Go make some. Okay.
I'm sending you a teleport request.
And I will find those requests. Where would those requests be located at? Mm.
They should pop up in the upper right hand corner of your screen.
Oh man. Yeah. Just not. I'm not getting anything. Like. It's not.
Yeah, they should pop up in the upper right hand corner of the screen. Um,
Can you type the name in Hangouts so I can send you a friend request as well?
One second. Yes, I know. What's the lady name? Karen. I know she sent me in a request. I still haven't seen her request.
Kathy?
yeah, you're having trouble seeing the request, but you're in.
Yeah, I'm missing.
Okay, but you're not seeing the request. Well, go to. Okay, how about you go to. Do you have a menu at the top? Your menu at the top should say avatar, starting on the far left side. Yes.
No, it
What
says
is that?
it says Second Life. It has welcome John the BP. You got to upgrade now in the right hand corner.
Uh,
Um,
you're in the Second Life portal. You have to come to Firestorm. It's the viewer in the 3D world. I think
how do I get the Firestorm from?
I think you're logged in the Second Life website. That's okay. But you need the viewer. The Firestorm viewer.
Like better viewers page.
I'm sending you a link to Firestone Viewer.
And that's the Hangouts. Okay.
So I pasted the link. If you click that, and if you are using a Windows PC, you can download for SL and OpenSim 64-bit. I'm assuming you're on a 64-bit machine.
Okay. It says about 3 minutes. It's going up and down, 3 to 4 minutes.
So it's downloading, right?
Yes, it's downloading.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
the thing,
it's kind of like 100 megabytes or something.
yeah, I downloaded before, but
Okay.
so how many people use Second Life? Is
I think millions, at least. Yeah.
the virtual world is. Has it been proven to work out in the real world?
Has what been proven to work in the real world?
Like there's some of, I mean, just some of the the techniques or the stuff that's being experienced in the virtual reality world. Been effective. All right, download.
I mean, I think just with some of our exercises, I think, I mean, and I can't say that I've done something more scientifically, but I think that some of our experiences show that some of it is quite realistic. Just with reactions from people, from role players. I always go back to the role play that we did with the riot scene, and where the hotel manager really felt like people were throwing rocks at her.
Yeah.
And it's virtual reality. It's not real, but it felt very real. And so like you'll see that human behavior continues to be human behavior. And I think that you kind of import. I mean, and the experience that was really amazing to me is that for me, I have always been afraid of heights, and that generally has kept me off of roller coasters and will sometimes impact other areas of my life. But generally, I'm on the ground, so it doesn't really matter. But in Second Life, you can fly.
Yeah.
And really early on when I was flying, I got the same feeling that I would get if I was on a roller coaster or something like that. Literally, it was exactly the same. So it's like your avatar kind of becomes a part of you, you know?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
Yeah, I just saw what's going on with loading the fire. It's like the Chrome OS system is not compatible
Mm.
with Firefox, so it directed me to Chrome. Yeah, it's not. They want to let me download it
Oh.
from my computer. Uh,
Try the 32-bit. When you were on that website, you did the 64-bit download, right?
yeah, well,
Try the 32.
I let it go for So you don't get on roller coaster.
What'd you say?
So you don't ride roller coaster.
Say that one more time.
So you don't ride roller coasters still to this day.
No. No, I like to keep my feet on the ground. It does though, like, generally I'm fine as long as there really is no roller coaster in my way. I'm usually okay. I do, I do though. I don't like driving over bridges though because it kind of gives me a similar feeling.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, usually I'm on the ground, so.
yeah,
So you
I get
do
the
it.
similar kind of feeling because I think I have a little bit of claustrophobic tendency, you
Mm.
know. And there was a ride, some tribute to Disneyland kind of thing. There was the same, and there was some ride that go through really narrow passages, you know, like.
Mhm.
And I was having similar kind of feeling that I would normally get. Um, if the elevator is stuck, you know, like you know the feeling, or you don't know. But it's kind of it's kind of freaking. And
Yeah.
also, it's just that maybe the room, maybe the ceiling is not properly designed. It's not proper height. I still get some kind of, you know, like a choking, choking kind of feeling because the
Oh wow.
avatar, yeah, because it's all visual and you get the similar kind of feeling sometimes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh wow.
if I
Oh
jump,
cool.
if I jump from the building, and I will still get the feeling, you know, like in my
That you're
stomach,
falling.
in my
Yeah.
stomach, yeah.
Exactly.
Uh,
And at first it was more. I mean, now I'm kind of used to it now.
mhm.
But at first I like fell off a building and I was like, oh god. Oh no. I'm gonna die. Now I'm like, okay, it's virtual. Get it together. Like the first time I was flying, I was like, oh no, I gotta come down. And I even and even dropping from the sky was more desirable than continuing to fly. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little bit more oriented, but
Mhm.
yeah, in the beginning I was like, oh god. I was like, oh. It's
It's
true. You have the same like visual
yeah,
cues. I mean, basically the land falls from underneath you and you just see the water, you see ocean and sky,
yeah.
right? That's the same thing you would see on any regular fall.
Wow.
It's it's powerful enough
Yeah.
just on the display, even if it's just
Yep.
2D. If it was some kind of a gear headset that you
Mm.
can view everything like a 360 view, and that would be even more. But
I
it's
don't even
already
mess with those.
yeah, it's already powerful.
Yeah. We actually have a cube in my class, in my VR class,
Okay.
and they were doing some sort of a roller coaster simulation. I was like, oh no, no, no. Oh, don't you want to try it? No, no, no. No, thank you. Because it's literally a box that you stand in, so you're completely 360 degree.
Okay.
I
Wow.
mean, there's no back, but front and two sides, you're completely immersed.
Mm,
So I was
I
like,
see.
no, no, no. That is. I can see from here. It looks dangerous.
Mm,
So yeah, try the 32-bit download might work.
I'm still waiting on it.
Okay. And then what else? There are only two options, right? Windows or Mac or Linux. It does give you option for Linux. You don't have Linux. See, I'm guessing.
mhm.
I'm guessing you have Windows and maybe the 32. I'm playing in the fountain right now. Which is something that I would do in real life. So yeah, I mean, I find that the things that I want to do in SimWorld are similar to the things that I want to do in the real world,
Mhm.
like swim, like
Mhm.
you know, like work. I spend a lot of
Yeah.
time at work, so
Yeah.
we have virtual office, right? That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, um, so
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, I think that human behavior is kind of you do kind of imprint yourself on your virtual world, the things that you want to do in real life. If you want to play basketball in real life, chances are you want to
Mhm.
probably play basketball in virtual life too.
Yeah.
No, no. I was looking more for like, being able to teach kids,
Oh,
uh,
absolutely.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Actually, I was just on a conference call.
Second Life
Um,
started with a lot of e-learning features. They,
e-learning,
yeah.
yeah. hmm And they're talking a lot about virtual reality for education, virtual reality for
Mhm.
learning.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I think people learn faster or more efficiently with more visuals. And Second Life
yeah,
can
absolutely.
really do that very powerfully.
hmm hmm
It's better than PowerPoint presentation. Far better.
Um, Especially for children. Children want to see things visually. They want to see things happening.
Yeah.
They want to hear things. Want to be stimulated in different ways. And I think that adults are like that too. It's just that we've always
Yeah.
kind of got that beaten out of us.
Hmm.
But as an adult, I want to see things visually. I want to do things. I'm very tactile. I want to practice them. I want to see them in action.
gotcha. Try it again.
What did it say?
It has popped up anything. Nothing came up.
Um, that's odd. It should be in your downloads folder. Um,
Yep, it is here.
okay,
Let's see how this works.
okay.
Yeah, it's saying the same thing.
Oh, not compatible.
What it says exactly?
Hold on. You
What is
said
the
what
error
it's
message?
saying exactly?
Yeah.
This file is designed for a PC using Windows software. This is not compatible with your device, which runs Chrome OS. Please search the Chrome Web Store for a suitable.
Ah, okay. So, is your laptop running Chrome OS?
Yeah,
Ah, it's a Chromebook. I see.
yeah, yeah. That's what.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't think you can run from a Chromebook because that's a very different
Yeah, they
OS.
just like you can download apps of like Microsoft Word.
Yeah,
Uh,
I understand. I understand. But the Chrome OS is very different.
yeah, I like it, but it's certain things that you can't do with a regular PC that I'm
Yeah, yeah,
accustomed to.
it's fantastic. Like I spend 90% or more than that from my browser, you know. So that was the whole idea because people are spending more time in browser or all the cloud-based softwares. So they came up with the idea that the entire PC can run from a browser. That's how the
Hmm.
Chrome OS was built, but
That works.
it's certainly not suitable for some softwares, I think.
Can the default would he be able to download the default viewer?
I don't think he can because
Not.
Hmm.
Second Life is not built for Chrome OS. Not
Okay.
yet that I know.
Yeah, I mean I can get in Second Life. It's just certain things like as far as that kitchen and
Hmm. Yeah, your online account is active. That's okay.
Hmm.
Um, but the viewer, you can try using the Android version if you have an Android
oh,
phone or Android tab or something. There's an Android version, but still that's quite limited. Uh, the things you can do, or there's also a performance issue. Uh, it's a tiny phone, right? So
Yeah.
you can probably see some stuff, chat with people, uh, but movement-wise, not very, not
I
very
can watch
suitable.
all
Yeah.
perform tasks online. I mean through our Hangouts and everything. I can see everything that's going on.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when we share our screen, when I share my screen, you can see you basically see me in world moving around and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But we gotta get you in there. And so, do you have any other devices? You have a laptop, you have a phone. Do you have anything else?
As far as like a different laptop from the one I have now,
Yeah.
no, don't actually. I mean, I have another computer, but it's not my personal computer. It's someone else's.
Ah.
Mhm.
Um.
And to keep this one with me everywhere I go,
Okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
it's just beneficial.
No, absolutely. Um. Well, it might be that you will be using that other computer for just to hang out, in the virtual world, because because that would be the only. I think that would be the only solution at this time. And none of your, I mean, it wouldn't be that like all your personal information would be on there. I mean, you would only be using it to log into Second Life. You could even download and delete Firestorm if you're not using the computer.
Okay.
So it's an option. Um, so
Are we um I know we just kind of went over we forgot about the questions.
well, yeah, initially I wanted you to go through the questions and talk about the frequency. Um, but yeah, we ended up just talking about some of your job related stuff, which is always good as well. Um, so let me get back. I mean, we do have some time left. One of the things though is that um, What we could do is we could do a few of them over the phone, and then you could finish them. Could you finish them on the Chromebook?
You said
The
finish.
ones that we don't finish over the phone.
You want me to call? What number you want me to call? When you say over the phone.
No, I'm saying like we're on the phone now. We could do a few of them
Oh, okay.
because we have a few minutes left, and then when you on the computer, you can finish the rest. Let's see. Um, okay, this is fine. I'll fix these. Or let me just see if I can unhide all these. Go this way, unhide. Okay, so I'll put your rating for criticality in your row, and then you can just continue that way. Yes, perfect. Okay. All right. So you said that for clean and sanitize work areas, equipment, utensils, dishes, and/or silverware, you do that is a 5, which is the highest criticality, and then you perform that pretty much hourly. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then for next one. Next one is carry food, supplies, equipment, and utensils to and from storage and work areas. Would you say you do that hourly or once a day?
That's hourly.
Okay, and how important would you say that task is to complete?
Um,
I mean, that's something that somebody, for instance, who is not certified could do. Or is there something that really requires you to have some strong knowledge in order to complete that task?
not necessarily, but
So maybe you like a 3?
yeah, I definitely have to go with a 3.
Next one. Distribute food to wait staff to serve customers. How frequently would you say you perform that task?
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Distribute food to wait staff to serve to customers.
Mm, um, it's about a 4.
Okay, and how frequently?
I go with 2.
And next we have cut, slice, or grind meat, poultry, and seafood to prepare for cooking. How important would you say that, Pastor?
Definitely a 5.
5. And how frequently would you say you perform that task?
4.
How frequently, like, do you think that that's like, so when you say 4, would you say all the time? Constantly?
Well, yeah, it's consistent. Yeah, it's like one of my main things.
Oh, food preparation. So I
Yeah.
mean, you do though. You do like some large food preparation in the morning.
Oh yeah, for sure for the like main dishes. That'll probably go out, a little bit more often than others, other products. But yeah, definitely we prepare in the morning. Basically we preparing foods in the morning for for the night.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, so
So so you do some food prep in the morning, but you're also doing some prep as the
well,
day goes on.
yeah, as it goes. Well, not necessarily. It just depends on what day it is. So Tuesday preparing foods for Friday, Saturday, Sundays. Our main days are Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
And how much we have to prep is vital.
Mm.
Like your business.
Okay, I'm gonna go with hourly. I'm gonna go with hourly. Okay. Next one. Remove trash and clean kitchen garbage containers. How important would you say?
That's the real.
Three.
Yeah.
And how frequently did you say you perform that?
That's a one.
Like once a day?
Uh, yeah, once a day. Yeah, gauging everything.
Um, okay. Receive and store food supplies, equipment, and utensils in refrigerators, cupboards, and other storage areas. How frequently would you say you perform that task?
Um, that'll be a four.
Frequency, criticality is four.
Yeah,
One point.
that's coming in every day because you know, like I was sharing with you, and I was saying, um, like I said, they still trying to gauge. So sometimes we might just run out of stuff
Mhm.
on a particular day when you got to go to the grocery store and pick something up or whatever, whatever. So it's a lot of in and out. And I don't do that, but they do that.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Next one is use recipes as a guide to weigh and or measure ingredients. Um, how important would you say that task is?
Five.
Five. And then um, how frequently would you say you perform that task?
They're pretty often. I'm gonna have to go with three.
You said it's pretty often.
Yes.
So when you say pretty often, would you say it's hourly?
Basically.
Or probably more frequently. I mean, because you're cooking. I mean, what do you spend most of your time doing? Cooking?
Between maybe 4 to about 9:30.
You're cooking.
Kind of everybody's getting off from work, kind of settling in. They want to get out, but between 4 and 9:30. We close at 10. We open up at 10. We close at 10.
Okay. So you spend a lot of that time making food, right?
Basically. Yeah.
Okay.
We got we got a few people that help out. They might man one station, or they just prep. They prepping. And if we need their help, we ask them. But
Okay. Um, okay. So, okay, next one is communicate with supervisors about equipment maintenance needs, food safety supplies, and food inventory. How important would you say that task is? Hello?
oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had those. I'm sorry about this. The AC came on. Excuse me. Repeat that question, please. Sorry.
so this task is communicate with supervisors about equipment maintenance needs, food safety supplies, and food inventory.
I'm gonna have to go with. That's probably like a one or two. But I
For, for criticality.
have to go with two.
Okay. And then for frequency, how frequently would you say you perform that task? What'd you say?
It's not we just kind of discussed those things.
You just kind of discuss it.
We kind of already understand it, so it just which we're working on getting some other instruments in that we need to use because they was using like these little to go cups to scoop um different sauces and things like that. That was just weird in itself. But I understood why they put it in like that because they didn't have those tools.
right. So you tell her like you gotta get a spoon and this is how it works.
I just grabbed the spoon. I just put the spoon over there. I was just like, what? They took the spoon out. Yeah, it's just
Yeah. It's pretty
yeah, yeah. I put the
stable.
spoon so they could see it there. I, I put the cup back in there. I was like,
Maybe they were using the cup to measure the amount of sauce.
yeah, but you can measure them out on the spoon too.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I get it. You're saying measure.
Right. Yeah, when people think of measurements, they think of cups, and it's like, so they're like, oh, you need a cup. I don't know.
But you need a cup. You just scoop with a spoon and a cup.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like you're having some interesting challenges.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say for this one, I put weekly for you, and maybe I'll change the scale of this one so that it's a 1 to 5 scale as well. If that makes sense, that'll be good. Okay, next one is assist cooks and kitchen staff with various tasks as needed and provide cooks with needed items.
That's I have to go with a four on that one.
Okay. And then how frequently are you doing that? You pretty much do that kind of constantly, right?
That's definitely consistent. Yeah. Um,
Okay. And then next one is add cutlery, napkins, food, and other items to trays on assembly lines in hospitals, cafeterias, airline kitchens, and food establishments. How important is the cutlery adding
is that a cutlery?
cutlery, like, giving you a knife and a fork, basically?
Oh, okay. I have to go with three.
And how frequently do you do that? I mean, I imagine like the busboy and stuff would do that kind of stuff more so.
Yeah, we don't necessarily need a bus boy or anything like that. Cause it's like a shotgun style kitchen, so everything is where it needs to be. I mean, it's not like we have to go, walk a mile to go get some chicken, or it's right there.
Everything is right there.
Yeah, everything is right here. I really don't do too much of that, which is a good thing. I like you know, not walking far, just having it right
Mm.
there.
Okay. All right. So,
I have to show you it today. When I get in, I'll show you.
the kitchen?
Yeah, I'll give you a call and hang out, kind of show you what it is.
Yeah, awesome. Um, okay, frequency, add cutlery, napkins, food, and other items to trays on assembly line. Da. So you said not really a whole lot. We'll put this as really. Okay. And then use manual or electric appliances to peel, clean, slice, and trim foods.
That would be. I have to go with a two.
Unimportant?
Yeah, it's not a big. Really. We had that equipment, but we hardly ever use it.
Oh. Hmm. So you mostly are. I mean, what do you usually do? You don't do a lot of big slicing.
No, we don't because no, we because what our menu offers is we
Hmm.
don't need much of it, but I mean we will use it for certain sauces and other little things, but we really don't even need it.
Okay. All right. Um, Next one is scrape leftovers from dishes into garbage containers.
Mm, three.
Importance of three is, and how frequently would you say you do that task?
Yeah, that would be maybe a two. I'm looking at it, I'm gauging it from a week perspective. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. Just three.
Okay. Okay. And then load dishes, glasses, and tableware into dishwashing machine.
I have to go with it. Two.
Two.
Yeah.
For criticality and for frequency.
Uh, I have to go with two.
Okay. Next one is make special dressings and sauces as condiments for sandwiches.
Go with a four.
For criticality,
Oh, that's critical. I'm up here saying frequency. Yeah, yes, four definitely. Yeah, yes,
for both frequency and criticality.
yes, for both.
All right. And mixed ingredients for green salads, fruit salads, vegetable salads, and pasta salads.
I have to go to both.
Two. And then Next one is keep records of quantities of food used.
This one I have to go for.
Okay. Next one is vacuum dining area, sweep and mop kitchen floor.
That's 5. We do that a lot of times.
Next one is serve food to patients, customers, clientele in accordance with special dietary needs. Do you get a lot of people who have like special requests about special diets or food allergies?
No, they don't. That don't happen. They kind of already know what they dealing with.
So you don't get a whole lot of that. So for tasks like this, though, usually they're rated high on criticality because if somebody has a food allergy, that's really important. But maybe you don't have it that often.
No, we don't.
So then it would be like a 1 for frequency, but a 5 for criticality.
Right.
Distribute menus to patients, customers, clientele to collect information about dietary needs and serve food.
Repeat that question one more time. I'm sorry.
Distribute menus to customers, collect information about dietary needs, and serve food. So this task I think is maybe more applicable to people who work in like a facility.
Right. Yeah, we don't even deal. Yeah, I don't even deal. I mean, I will go check on the customer and make sure.
Right. Right. But for you, people just coming in here to drink and party and sing.
Basically.
So they're not really they're not really concerned. So then I would maybe this is low on frequency and criticality.
Correct.
Okay. And then next one is use tools to stir mixed ingredients, or tools being agitators or spoons or mixers. You do a lot of mixing?
Nah, not really. It just depends. I mean, that's like a 2. I mean, it's just making sure everything stay fresh and stirring up pots, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm in a very it's a low volume kitchen, which I'm thankful to be in right now because I'm just really just kind of I'm not relaxing, but I'm just kind of what kind of word can I use for that?
Not as much work as it was at your previous place where you were like cranking out.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm ready to fall back into the ownership mode of doing things. I don't know.
I hear that.
Too much wear and tear on my body.
Yeah. I hear that. Just come in and kind of chill, make sure that the important stuff gets done. But you're saying that you might only do like 15 orders in a day. It's not a whole lot of people. People coming in there to drink.
Right.
But maybe like it's not a big eating establishment where you have like, whole parties coming in to order tables and tables full of people that are all trying to eat a meal or something.
Right.
It sounds like if people are getting something, they might get something to accompany whatever they're drinking, but not a whole lot.
Right. I don't want to cut anything off. I got to be at work at 2. I'm gonna try to leave out of here at like 12:50, and I will call you when I get.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Because we said 12:30 because I know that you got to go. So go ahead and go ahead and get to work, and then we can communicate via. If you can call me back, that's great. Basically, I think that you can just go through the spreadsheet and finish these. Finish the criticality ratings and the frequency ratings, and then if you have any questions, you can just always ask me. Or
Spreadsheet will be
it's the same spreadsheet.
oh the same one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.